and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to our Devils of the West game. When last we left our Root and Toon and Shamamamos, y'all were just back in Confluence City, Colorado. Confluence City kind of being where your new home base is. You just gotten done with some strange archaeological encounters, met some old friends, and have been gifted a old kind of rundown museum on university grounds to kind of start a cult museum somewhat / home base for you guys. You had a couple kind of inklings of things to do. There was some talk about tracking down the winery that your friend's wine bottle had on it. There was also I know, Grimes is only a loose friend. And then there are two other members of the Eyes of Providence, your kind of shadow organization you work for, that were in the path of this strange assailant of one of the Eyes of Providence. One somewhat more on the northeast coast, and one down in Florida. There's talk about all three of those things, or some combination of them, as well as probably a bit of downtime to recover.
Yeah, we not only that, but we also have some loose ends to take care of.
Oh yeah, you also want to murder that kid.
I think it's going a little far. Like,
I'm just saying, I threw this out there at the last session. We throw him in one of those hospitals that almost took me.
I mean, look, I have no qualms about killing. I think I've proven that pretty well so far, of course, this game. But I only kind of want to kill stuff that it seems justified. And yeah, I can understand the governor having wanting to maintain secrecy, but I don't give a shit. I hunt monsters.
Yeah, but what happens when the governor is mad that we didn't take care of it, and then all of a sudden we have target on our back from him?
Then we hunt monsters, Jerry.
We do such a good job at our jobs that no one will believe him that there's monsters, and he'll just be the crazy guy.
I don't think anybody's gonna believe him anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got a $1,000 bounty on my back to prove that.
That is true.
I'm not too sure. Bogus is still processing the realization that all this shit's real. So, he's just like, just put him in. Put him in the psych ward.
And that took a literal floating devil skull to convince him. So I don't think a guy who is I don't think a guy who is obviously rapidly becoming an alcoholic is going to successfully convince anybody that the supernatural exists.
Rather not take that risk. You guys do what you think is right. I'm going to the doctor so I could heal up my wounds.
Did I get all my wounds healed? I still have one.
I say leave it be. I'm sure.
Are you gonna go to the doctor?
Yeah, I'm still lame.
Okay. Some things can't be fixed by medical help.
You get some cool pop culture magazines.
It's me, Dr. Cool. I got a lame antidote for you.
Here's some 17 magazine on the cover. America's Next Top.
And some weed.
How to not be lame.
Buy some sunglasses and a leather jacket, and you should be fine.
Unless you're in your late 40s, then it's just kind of sad.
Balding.
Yeah.
But you haven't shaved your head. You haven't accepted that you're balding. You're balding, not bald. Those are two very different things.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
A couple people going to the doctors to recover. What the rest of you doing? So just the two old men of the party? Two of the three old men of the party? Your party is a young man, a young woman, and three old men.
And on one
here I was thinking
occasion,
this was No Country for Old Men.
Oh, it's a country for old men, alright.
This story isn't nearly that dark.
It's a gothic.
Don't lean into a shot.
How old is Jimmy? How old are you?
Yeah.
That's two different
Two
questions.
different questions.
So, the rest of you, are you guys doing anything during this time?
what day is it?
Hang on.
I mean, I assume you go at some point.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Saturday.
I don't.
Only they made D7s.
They probably do. They probably look weird.
Any odd number.
I just opened the calendar on my computer, twirled my mouse around with my eyes closed, and then whatever I landed on was the day of the week.
It's also random enough.
I mean, I'm probably not doing anything until we leave.
Okay.
Wherever it is we decide we're going. I don't really know.
Of course.
I don't really have much in, and two.
You practice your magic.
Yeah.
Practice being a good witch.
So during this time, someone will approach whichever of you is hanging in the museum. A familiar face. It's Potter. Having recovered more fully, he is going to ask, who's going to be there?
I at least would probably be there.
Trying to approach you.
There is probably a ritual circle. Like,
and if you're like, that's your drawing.
Yeah.
Doing something like if you are etching that as he comes in, he like isn't like he like kind of hovers over and is watching and seems to be taking in what you're doing.
Try teleportation. Coward. You won't.
I did up my spellcasting with our last.
What exactly are you working on there?
It's probably what it is like the structure of my curse lifting ritual, just so it's like permanently in place. So it's like all we need to do is throw the cursed item or person in the center, put the last couple things in there.
Decurse.
Yeah, just so it's like.
Might sound like a football chant.
It's like a.
Rah-rah-ree, get these curses out of me.
Rah-rah-ras, get these curses out by...
Shrieking souls flying out of his body.
Yeah, I'm building a permanent decursing site.
Okay.
Just so we, like... It's set up, it's ready to go. But I'll... When Potter asks, I will, like... I will... Yeah.
Sparks.
Essentially try and teleport back to the balcony.
Okay.
Oh, if you telefrag him.
It's 2. Nothing happens.
You come back and sparks fly out of your hand and he kind of jumps. But
Damn it, you were supposed to be up there.
very interesting. I came to ask a question. I was wondering if it would be alright if I helped here.
I mean, I assumed you were supposed to.
It was already a done deal, kid.
Well, then I'll do as you expected I was supposed to. And just help tidy this place up a little bit. And, there's paperwork and stuff that has to be done to... We have to make a list of all these things, have an inventory and whatnot.
Does he look a little gleeful about saying lists?
When he says like inventory, there is a smirk. Like you can see it's just like the slightest curl at either end of his lip.
Well, as far as what all does our museum have in it at the moment?
Let me tell you,
It's got a fake dagger.
demon skull, witch locket, flint dagger.
I was about to say, I will point into those 3 things, which are like the only 3 things in the room. That's our inventory at current. But yeah, I mean, I'm no good at paperwork.
I'm very good at paperwork.
So he is more than welcome to do the paperwork. And it'd be nice to have somebody around here who knows
how to read.
Yes. I was gonna say who knows what's going on, but who knows how to read is helpful too. And on that point, I am going to assign him a reading list, which is the Monster Hunting Manual and my in-progress Monster Hunting Manual.
Okay.
So that way he knows as much as we know. So that way we have somebody to.
Are you gonna?
Questions on.
So you have the original and the translation.
Well, we gave the original.
Oh,
back.
you gave the original.
We have the
That's right, you
translated.
just translated. The original was Ravens, correct? So he'll
He'd be
read.
a little pissed if we stole
If you
it.
kept it, I mean, he may not. When you came back, he might be like, "Where's my book? Where's it?
Where's
Every time we go.
Where's my book, Lebowski?"
Oh no! I almost see it. Let me go back.
Yeah, sit back down. I'm sure it's down there somewhere.
That's definitely Raven and Mohan. That's like tongue.
Obviously, you're not.
Where's my book, Mohan? It's down there somewhere. He will voraciously tear into these novels. Into these.
I mean, I guess he can read my spell book as well if he wants.
Okay.
I've barely even read the thing. If he gets better
That's probably why you
spellcasting
keep-
than me, I might kill him.
You come back from like a mission. He goes, "Hey, cow!" You go over to
Potter, the boy who lived, naturally pretty good at magic. Something in his blood, I think.
He has like an arch nemesis who doesn't have a nose.
I can't wait to
It's
meet
gonna be you
undead-
guys attempting to murder his other student and somehow just take his nose off.
I can't
and
wait
he's
to
gonna
meet
come
an
back.
undead gunslinger that's just gunning for Potter.
It's-
That's missing a nose.
It's the classic is that when Mohan inevitably dies in the heroic last stand, I just play Potter as like a huckster. He's like, I don't understand how this magic works, but it works, so I just keep doing it.
I was learning to play poker, and I was learning spellcasting, and so I was getting spirits to play poker with me, and then this happened.
And I won. Too many times in a row, apparently. Now I'm a wizard.
Some giant spirit came up to me and said, "You're a wizard, Potter."
You're a wizard, Potter.
All right. Anything else you guys? So he's gonna tear into those. He's gonna happily read all three.
I mean, look, if he's gonna be the guy back at our HQ who we like, if this was in a modern setting, we'd always be calling on the radio to like explain something to us. He might as well be the know as much as we know.
He will also ask if he can make a copy of the two completed texts to leave his volumes here.
Yeah, that'd be pretty handy.
Okay.
I don't know what. I'd be careful. You don't read out loud while you're writing, do you?
Turn on the
Not usually.
sub-vocalize.
I would try and avoid doing that with the spell book because I have literally no idea what will happen.
I'll take your advice on that.
I love the idea of.
I
Like,
wouldn't mind reading
sub-vocalizing
into it a
your-
bit, but that would be in a more controlled setting.
Maybe we need an armored spellcasting practice room before we blow up the university, like somebody
Okay.
else we know.
Okay.
Allegedly.
It was
Not
settled out
really.
of court.
Not really allegedly. It's just he just didn't want to go to court.
Let's be honest.
Hey,
He
there's
probably
no bounty on your head anymore.
Nah, not anymore.
You've been absolved of those crimes.
Yeah, and also it's the university's fault for giving me a fucked up gadget. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
as you guys can tell, my gadgets work properly.
I'm just kind of training back at HQ. I guess.
If nothing
I'm
else,
still recovering.
you have that time of recovery. Anyone else who wanted to talk to in town or anything like that?
Is there? I guess that's an interesting question. Is there anybody we want to get on board with this top secret project of ours?
I think.
A 6.
As far as anybody we
One wound.
want to be aware of it.
And what was yours? Jim?
Oh, do I get any bonuses from the doctor?
No, you don't have any negatives because you're at the doctor.
Ah, I see. So then 7. I don't get a negative from my wound.
You do, but if it's 6, that's enough to heal your one wound. So
Yeah, you just need a success.
So I still have one wound.
you still have one wound. Okay.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
lame.
go. I'm gonna go.
You are still very.
I'm gonna go talk with Professor Grace.
Okay.
About this. Be like, can you believe this shit?
We've gotten to the anger phase.
Unfortunately,
We'll get to bark.
you as well as myself know that what you see, there can always be more to it than what you understand. I pretty thoroughly understand what I saw is unexplainable and very, very real. I can't think of any way that could have happened, and I could have been tricked into thinking it was real when it wasn't.
That's what I was trying to. That's what. Laying in the hospital bed, trying to figure this out and piece it together. But I'll just say this: I don't know how much of the stories they've let you in on. This just explains a lot.
From some of what they've told me, it sounds like there's a lot that you were able to overlook before this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to buy a shotgun.
You can find a shotgun at the cost of a shotgun.
He asks Professor Grace.
The door opens. You got a shotgun? And she's like 3 now. Since I came back, 1 in every room.
No werewolf's gonna catch me unprepared.
Yeah, if you're not looking up the.
Yeah, thank you.
Can do.
Anything else you guys?
I'd like to. I probably shouldn't go visit because he wouldn't want to see me, but I'll send a letter to Brother Benji. That's essentially just like, if you run into something unexplainable that you need help with, send a letter to like this address.
Do not contact me.
That's probably
Return to sender. I'm gonna go and restock on 3 nitro.
Okay.
So
Whatever the cost of
I
nitro is.
that's $250.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say nitro. I believe
It's
is.
copyrighted.
Oh yeah.
Weapon upgrades, are those even a thing? Is that
Not
As
really
far
with
as-
these. There's like attachments and stuff, but that's not really. You're not going to get like a red dot sight on your
Laser sights.
There are
That's like the whichever Call of Duty it was, where you could do like two attachments to your secondary, but you could do sights on pistols as well as akimbo. So you would dual wield like revolvers with ACOG sights on them, which it just makes me picture a guy holding them like binoculars and then firing and scope eyeing the shit out of himself.
He has to hold them sideways so he can actually see.
So would you
Ow,
like?
ow, 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 ow.
Would you like a Colt revolving shotgun, a double barrel, a scatter gun, which is just a little sawed-off shotgun? If you want one of those, you just have the one that's on my horse. A single barrel, if you want to go real sort of not mountain man, hillbilly with it. There we go.
Hillbilly in a cabin.
Or a Winchester lever action.
Ooh, how much is the Winchester lever action?
$35.
That sounds like the raddest of them. So, the only one that I can think of that would be better would be the double barrel, just so I could give them both barrels.
I believe the double barrel does have an option for you to fire both barrels at the same time.
Tempting.
Let me double check that.
Because then it's the classic, I shoot them with both barrels and then just beat them with the...
The good news about guns is when they're no longer guns, they become clubs. Or if you have a bayonet, spears.
That's true.
There may not be an option for the giving up both barrels. I mean, Erickson could always
I can come
rule
up
with
with one.
this.
If you want to give them both, I'd come up with something.
That sounds pretty cool.
I mean, Wyatt Earp murdered technically, quite a few people that way.
I think I'm gonna take the double barrel.
The double barrel.
I mean, look, it does sound pretty cool.
Double barrel shotgun. Here you are, sir. Here's a double barrel gun.
So,
For you.
shotguns do +2 to shooting rolls.
Okay.
If you're in the close range. Right?
It's just +2 to shooting rolls, but they do 3d6 at their closest range, 2d6 at mid range, and 1d6 at long range.
Gotcha.
So you're still more likely to hit at any range. It just does less damage the farther out they are.
It would just require you to roll stupid high the farther they're out.
What's their range? Stand?
Double
Is it
barrel
12,
is
24?
12, 24, 48.
Okay. Alright. Well, that's... and I guess I'll buy... ammunition. I'll buy 50 rounds. 50 shells.
It's 20 shells for $2.
Okay, then I'll buy 40 shells. Because, God, how am I gonna go through 40 shells before I can
I
restock?
bought 20 shells back in the day, and I've used 2 of them.
Yeah.
Shotgun is not my preferred weapon.
Well, you have a kick-ass sniper rifle, so yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
I should probably use the shotgun more often. It's
Shotguns are very good.
more effective than the rifle in certain circumstances, but
Yeah, old Jimmy Mohan's not much of a crack shot, so he's like, I gotta do something about this.
I need $1,800 to get what I want.
What do you want?
Bulletproof
Bulletproof vest.
I mean, Professor can try to make you one.
that's in the Seth and Robards catalog. The the sort of other just like supernatural kind of stuff.
So,
Professor
sorry,
Bogus
how
can
much
try
is
to
the
build
double
you
barrel?
one, but it's not like you would need it.
The double barrel.
I was gonna ask if you
will
wanted to
run
go to the
you
bar, but I can
$35.
see you're busy.
Alright.
I could do a really heavy vest and have a 8 toughness. Or no, 10 toughness. But,
You
Because
do
I don't have
fail.
How much is the heavy vest?
Monster Hunt doesn't pay like an up to 18.
It's tough.
it doesn't. Should go back to my shop.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not like really being contracted to hunt monsters all that much.
We're just being told to go there.
or we're just getting dragged into it.
Yeah.
Listen, technically, that last job paid however much his bounty was.
500, I think.
Yeah. Only 500.
So.
Actually, I think we probably lost whatever his bounty was because.
Well, it's out of my retirement fund.
That's
Because
right.
we could have turned him in.
You just withdrew that from your retirement fund to cover for a friend.
Basically.
Although that bastard had to sell me out first.
Oh, I would in a second.
As we've learned. All right. Anything else in town?
I don't think so. I did the thing I wanted to do. Jocelyn wants to know if there's any pretty ladies.
You going to the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. You're just trying to chat up some nice Confluence City babes.
You gonna be looking for the one you robbed dead bodies with?
Yeah.
Are you looking for in particular, or are you avoiding her and trying to find different?
If she's there, I'll say hi. If she makes things awkward, then I'll.
She ain't there.
She ain't there? Okay.
Go ahead and roll me a charm with your pretty face.
So,
With your very pretty face.
Yes.
Although second prettiest to the guy in Texas.
Prettiest now.
He did.
what is it? Persuasion.
But I don't
kill
want
the
you to
guy-
stop bringing him up.
If you kill the guy in first place,
That's
you're in
plus-
first place now.
Yeah,
To be the best, you gotta be.
What's
the
very
best.
handsome plus
Yeah,
4?
I'm always gonna be.
Yeah, +4.
I'm always gonna be bringing it up to make
So 4,
Eight.
7, 8.
You can get lucky, you won't get lucky.
there.
get lucky.
If you want to get lucky, like Johnson's gonna turn that down.
No.
With a raise.
With a raise.
How pretty is she?
There.
She's not very, she's just attractive.
Ah, there you go.
2 raises is very attractive.
There you go.
You don't settle.
It's not like you struck out in the night. You just sell with what was left.
It's not that one
You took the
SNL,
walk-off
that one
walk.
SNL skit that they've done a couple times where it's the last 2 people at a seedy bar. They're just both the worst, and it's them trying to hook up. Watch, it's very fun.
You know, small indie.
Small
comedy
indie
skit.
developer, Saturday Night Live. So you have to watch our channel to get such niche plugs. So you guys, what's your plan? I guess after this week, some recovery, some time spent doing other things. You all reconvene. Some other things, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. What you guys plan?
I mean, I think if we're heading east, we might as well just hit all 3. I don't think there's any point in like going to Kentucky and then coming back and then going to Florida and then coming back. Like we might as well just make a loop of it. Like hit Kentucky on the way over and then either swing Florida up northeast or northeast down to Florida.
Just so you guys, I didn't really explicitly say this, but if you wanted this information, you would certainly be privy to it. You would know that the hyena is in Cuckoo Beach, Florida, and the lizard is in Alton, Pennsylvania, and then that winery is in specifically Boone, Kentucky.
Not Montucky, Kentucky.
Not Montucky, Kentucky.
So probably hit Kentucky and then.
I would say hit
Florida,
Kentucky, go to
Pennsylvania.
Florida because Florida we can at least get some books or potentially acquire some other items for our base of operations.
Right, but should we do that last then? So then
We can bring it back with us.
we can just like, because if we end up with a whole bunch of
We'll have to lug them up to
books
Pennsylvania.
and arcane artifacts, yeah, then we just like
I mean, we could
Yeah.
hire someone to take
Cross.
it back from us.
that's true. We could
Yeah.
also just hire
On
a
a
train
train.
company.
I say we just make a loop. It's better that the
Yeah.
artifacts are in our hands rather than.
We
can trust
should
them, other things.
we should stop through Kansas on
Right.
the way out though,
Why?
because I'm married.
Because he wants to get lucky. You got lucky. He wants to get lucky now.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea checking with your wife. For you, anyway. The rest of us don't really care.
So what
It's
I'm
just a
hearing
character
is,
problem.
Right.
So what I'm hearing is Kansas, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and then Florida.
Sounds good to me.
Quite the trek y'all have ahead of you. The big loop.
The big
Oh, and
loop.
I'm sure it
we
will.
might be able to catch it.
It'll be uneventful and everything will go as
Probably
smoothly
good.
as possible.
At least, like, I assume Pennsylvania's in Union territory, so we won't be able to probably cross the border on a train with the war on and all. But like, between
here to
Kan-
Kansas.
Yeah, from here to Kansas or from Kentucky through
I'm just trying to cut
to
down on
Florida
our
or something.
travel
We
time.
can, yeah, like I think trains would probably be. This is why we need a train. That's why our headquarters should have been a train. That would have been sweet.
I don't think they would have liked it if we just put
I'm
a train on
sorry,
that train.
your occult museum isn't cool enough.
But it could have been in a
It
cult
burns
museum.
down.
Potter.
Yeah,
Could have
yeah,
been
no.
in a, it could have been in a cult museum train.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Potter
With
died
the-
in the museum.
With a cat conductor, I saw a little video of a Japanese train that is conducted by a cat, quote unquote.
Is that cat qualified to conduct a train?
He
Is
just
that
said
cat qualified to man this train?
he's not. He just takes naps.
No, but he is qualified to cat this train.
The cat is qualified to conduct the train.
So you guys are going to take a train to Kansas?
Anywhere we can take a train, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to cut down on our travel time.
Was there a train in this?
I should try to
Can we
get
bring our
some
horses
travel
on the train?
expenses.
Yeah,
from-
we can
Yeah,
load
can we bring-
horses on the.
Okay,
Oh,
the question
I think
is,
he's gonna get all scared
because
I'm gonna
Sam,
ask Raven if he can help with our
why
travel
would you do that when you
expenses.
could just hit
He says that at least from out of Confluence City, you can get your free train tickets
Oh
wherever
yeah,
you want to go.
yeah.
Oh, that's
like
fair.
Red Dead.
So,
We just go all the way to Florida.
so
I
I,
could.
I guess.
the question is Sam going to be allowed on this train? Because I have just remade him
Oh
volatile.
god, I forgot.
They probably will not allow Sam on the train with Nitro.
Gonna
They have to leave it behind, or
Fine, I'll put the nitro in the museum.
No.
don't like your museum, do you?
I like the museum. I was arguing for a train before we got the museum. I just want to go on.
I'm just gonna put the nitro in a corner and just tell Potter, don't touch.
What I'm worried about is Potter practicing magic and setting off a nitro.
I'm just gonna put it down in the corner.
Wanted for the destruction of university
cycle.
property and failure to
Appear in corner.
Very good.
As I put the nitro down, I look at Potter. Don't touch this nitro.
Wasn't planning on it.
Good. I walk away. That's all I need.
I like the idea that his poster literally says like Leo Potter with an exclamation point Potter. Leo Potter. Alright.
Alright,
So with a non-explosive donkey, you all load up and
I feel like a weight's just been lifted off my shoulders for some reason.
joke's on you, he still has the lantern oil.
you guys are able to load up and ride on, and you can
Yes,
get.
sir. Yeah, heading for Kansas first.
I'd say you can get certainly close. I won't make you. I was tempted to be like, you know where it lands, right? Which city in Kansas the train stops in?
Is
The
it?
one, the only. Flint, Kansas.
I really didn't expect Flint to have a train station, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not. But you are able to stop nearby and ride into town.
Well, there we go. I'll go see Dorothy.
All right.
Go by my house.
You go to your house, and your wife is there.
I want to say hi to Dorothy too.
You don't get to.
Like the idea of Grimes, just like, I
Do
want
the rest of you guys go anywhere in town? or-
I'm just going to the bar at that
Yeah,
point.
I'll approach it for some. Harpentry still boarded up?
It is.
Or is a new shop?
Nothing's moved in there yet.
Someone's living underneath the floorboards though.
Not anymore. So you guys, you head into your house. The rest of you go to the bar, and you see a familiar cast of characters.
Well, mostly cast of character.
You see. I have to go to the correct section. You see in Dodgerton, Kansas, a couple of folk. Namely, you see Bonnie Mae DeFran, the lady who runs the saloon, and a familiar Deputy Clint Buckwash, who seems to continually be trying to buy
I thought Buckwash was his last name, or was a nickname, but that makes it sound like his last name.
You never knew his first name. He's just Buckwash.
Most people replace their first name with a nickname, not their last name.
He doesn't really have a name apart from Buckwash.
Buckwheat.
Buck paint wash.
Buck Wild.
And you enter in, and you can see kind of him straighten up, and he turns. Hello, be.
Howdy, Buckwash.
Howdy. What brings y'all back, Dr.
Mohan's visiting his wife.
Fair enough.
He died a 4th time.
No, tell me that story. Let me buy you a drink. You got a
trust me.
funny look in your eye, old timer.
Yeah,
You
no,
finally snapped the rest of the way?
just about.
He saw some spooky shit in the woods and made him go crazy.
Woods around
Get it,
here?
guy.
You ain't.
Around yon way.
Woods is a long
Listen,
way away.
Woods is the strong term. This is a condition from few too many bug bites.
Oh,
Looks bad.
you got the typhoid?
No.
I heard something about dogs giving people diseases too.
Yeah, canine hepatitis. Be careful of that.
I will be. I don't want none of that.
Yeah, you can get it one of two ways, and one's less pleasant than the other.
I reckon I won't get it either way if I avoid them at all. Let me buy y'all a drink. Come on, take a seat. Take a seat.
I will tell him a story that I assume he will assume that I'm making up. I don't know. Fighting a bone monster that kills Jimmy Mohan, but then he just gets back up the next morning.
He
makes
will,
coffee.
after like you guys all drinking and after you finishing that story, he's gonna be like, now, Bonnie Mae, I'm cutting our friend off here. He slides your glass over to her. Be like, I think she's had one too many already.
asked
That's
for a
quite the
story.
story. That's quite the
I'm
story.
gonna reach over and take the glass.
She can refill yours, man.
I'm just gonna grab the bottle from the counter.
You can put it on the tab, Bonnie Mae. We'll polish this and all there.
Everything been quiet around here?
Mostly. Y'all looking to start a shop? Nobody's moving into Hartford.
Yeah, when I retire, I'll start. I'm not there.
He got seed money.
I certainly could teach you a thing or two.
That's the. I turn the rest of these schmuckos in and start a general store.
You turned them all into for the down payment on some property and just become a shop owner. The only other guy who doesn't have a bounty poster currently.
Hey, hang on, no,
Gonna be there.
mine got
Next campaign, it's gonna be you three as outlaws trying to take out this town, and the old ranger having to come up in arms with his buddy, the old outlaw, to save him.
Hey, remember, my bounty's clear. I'm clear now. Wait, is there a second one that I don't know about?
The super secret second bounty. It's the bounty that I frame on you to get to get the bounty money.
You son of a...
I've got it all thought out. I'm six. When there'll be a mysterious explosion in.
Only one person I know responsible for mysterious explosions.
You go back. The wife is there.
I'm
House
not,
seems in decent shape.
I'm not really looking for a huge character moment here.
Yeah.
I'm just,
You go back. You visit your wife.
it's the decent thing
She's
to
happy
do.
to see you.
There you go. I say I'm gonna be out on the road again.
She tells you to be careful.
I'm a little more banged up than last time we met.
Oh, she's like, probably like, what happened to you?
It was a burr.
It was a burn.
Did you get it?
Oh, we got it.
My poor boy. Oh, come on. You haven't been taking care of this very well on the road. Let me help.
Hooray! All right. That's
Loving wife is what it is.
that's all
How
I
long
need.
a travel was it from the
Not
train?
enough for another one yet.
I was hoping.
Yeah, trains are
You
too
took the
fast.
train too fast.
Sons of bitches.
If it's nitro, don't let him make another healing roll. Kind of
Sons of bitches.
After a bit of time here, you guys onward and outward.
Yep.
Heading on.
Oh. How much? So I need a theoretical on how much it was gonna cost us to take the train to where we're going.
From here to there, we'll be crossing from south to north, territory-wise, right? Or no?
Because we're going to Kentucky next.
You should still be good. For that, it'll be
Numbers. Somebody edit in like the calculating thing behind there.
$1.50 each.
50 each. So I think that We can handle that. I just need to know if I need to like take some money from the from my paychecks.
Here's where I intentionally pay an odd amount just to make the fight, knowing it will make the fight. I don't do that.
That amount put me right at even.
$1.25. This game. A joke. $1.42.
Damn it.
You should.
I'll do that, man.
I'll fight you.
Jocelyn's loaded.
Well,
She also has gold bar written in.
Well, Grimes mostly just
Something
steals
happened.
stuff and doesn't really buy
Uh-oh.
stuff. So.
Don't know when this happened, but the camera of the three is. Welcome back from technical difficulties.
I mean, just jump straight back into it. I'll just cut it out. You don't need to like
Well-
re-intro the video.
Oh, we're just gonna get it. You all are on a train.
We're on a train.
Yeah, we won't pay the fee.
You do whatever you want
There
to
will
make
be-
this piece together.
We're all on a fucking.
How about
that? Fucking sandwich.
How about that?
In a train.
A train.
So y'all are in a train and heading onward. You will not be able to arrive to where you'd like to arrive. Where you're heading to is a very the fort itself doesn't really. There's the town nearest by, which is the one it's described as being inside of Boone, and Boone is too small for there to be a train station there. But nearby there is one that's probably half day's ride away from Boone.
Good enough.
You guys, I assume, are going to be heading that way.
Just ask somebody to point us down the road to Boone, and
All right.
if they don't just like cross themselves and mutter under their breath and walk away.
Well, so there's signs that kind of direct you towards Boone. However, on the post, it's all very normal signs, but one is ratty old and has a gnarled finger etched on the end of it, pointing and it says Boone in darker text.
And there's
I think Strahd does.
there's a crow sitting on just that sign. And
You know. No, everything is absolutely fine. You are able to see a sign, follow it towards Boone. Arriving outside of Boone, like everyone around here seems to be pretty friendly. Boone itself is more or less a disparate collection of cabins around a kind of forested area. It's small. There doesn't seem to really be any shops or anything. The only sign you can see for anything around here is one. There's a small river that runs through this section, and there is a little one of these cabins is right up next to a dock going out into the river, and there's like a little tiny ferry boat that seems to be to cross the river, and the only sign you see is the one hanging there that says Boone Docks.
there's only one.
Cue the music again.
Yeah, technical difficulties music while we beat up Eric's.
He comes back with a black eye. Alright, guys.
That's the only sign you see.
What was the name of the vineyard?
We have the bottle.
Yeah.
You look at the bottle and you read, Last Stand Albarino, 1878, Fort Greene Cellars, Boone, Kentucky.
Ask somebody about Fort Greene
Oh
Cellars.
yes, a random person on the side of the
Random
street.
person outside
Yeah,
the street.
because
There's not really people walking around.
anybody
here?
sitting on a front porch and a
Sure there is.
You know,
You see one guy, straw hat, sitting on his front porch, rocking kind of back and forth. Seems like an older fellow.
Adding a timer.
Eyes you as you approach. It seems like a little confused to see you walking this way. Howdy,
We're looking for Fort Greene Cellars.
Fort Greene. What business have you in Fort Greene?
A friend of ours recommended their wine.
If you want to drink the wine of Fort Greene, then don't talk to me or mine.
Wait, but what?
Why? See,
Why?
this is exactly why when he handed us a bottle of wine, I went, there's something shady as shit going on. I'm probably saying this out loud. There's something shady as shit going on there. We should
You're
probably check
goddamn
it
right
out.
there's something shady as shit. Fort Greene is cursed. Place is nothing but death. Death covered in death, buried with death.
You want
It's a lot
to
of death.
you want
I drank
to
that wine.
you want to build on
I don't
that?
like the look in your eye, the one that's looking at me, fellers.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't do nothing about this. You want?
You broke me, you son of a bitch.
It's how dry the response was. I think.
You want to build on that thought of death and death and death?
You ain't heard of Fort Greene?
We
Y'all ain't from around here, is you?
No, sir.
No.
Well, Fort Greene known as the site of one of the bloodiest battles in all of the Revolution.
Revolution
American Revolution.
in Kentucky.
Yeah? Bloodiest battle happened in it? That's for damn sure. Corpses all about.
Can I do an academics roll? Because I don't think that's right.
You don't have to roll in to think that he might be mixing things up.
Yeah. I'm like, are you sure, Mister? You sure you're not talking about the war going on now?
War's always going on till we win it, right?
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong, old timer.
Sure.
You seem to have misunderstood what he meant with revolution.
Yeah,
It's the Confederate.
the Confederate Revolution. Yeah. It's.
Oh, you're just Southern.
Yeah.
See, he didn't refer to it as the War of Aggression. So
Right.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
That's so funny. That is a classic Erickson misdirection. If anybody is keeping score at home.
You, I mean, we happen to sort of specialize in handling things of this nature. Could you point us to the fort?
You go on down this road just a little more. It's gonna keep on branching off to the right. There's a bit of more of a dirt path off to the left. A little more overgrown, but traveled well enough. You follow it, it'll lead you right to the fort. Not sure I'd go there if I was you, though. I don't know what kind of madman would buy that fort, turn it into a winery.
A bad man, obviously.
Well, I wouldn't go there if I was you, since I'm me.
And since
Guess
we're
we're going up
we.
Science professor.
Y'all the exact kind of folk I expect coming and going from that place. Odd.
Takes one to know one, mister. And I ride away
Have you
quickly.
seen odd folk coming?
You're on
and
a
going
donkey.
from that?
You slap that ass donkey in it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys keep talking. Professor slowly lumbers over.
We'll catch up. We'll catch up.
And he says, all sorts of, well, there's some fuddy-duddy Western types like you come through here trying to buy wine from the place.
I heard that.
You're only like 20 feet away.
Also, some folk coming and going, just delivering supplies and the whatnot. Strangest thing is I'd swear they're building some sort of wild still to make all this wine out there. They get more supplies and bits and bobs and makes sense to me. Something's going on in that fort.
You didn't happen to see a spooky fella, white horse with a sword?
The hell you talking about, white horses, sword fellers? No, I ain't seen no feller with no sword.
Just, we're taking turns as bounty hunters and just somebody to keep an eye out for.
Well, if I see him, I'll report him to the ranger.
I appreciate that.
Sword.
Okay.
These outlaws is getting crazier and crazier. He drinks his sweet tea.
Menacing.
Judgmentally.
Disapprovingly.
Sips sweet tea disapprovingly. That's just the sound.
That is.
I guess we have our heading, as it were.
Yeah, follow the professor.
Unless there's any other questions you want to ask.
No.
Nope, think you guys handled pretty well.
Yeah.
I still like that. Right off. You're on a donkey.
Oh!
Hey, donkeys can still run.
You're not Sam though. Sam has learned to walk very carefully.
Sam has the quietest, carefulest
Steps.
hoof placement in just anywhere.
If I so
anywhere in
much
this
as
combat.
trip, I'm a dead donkey.
I'm one donkey fart away from leveling half a boom. Good stuff.
Yeah, we'll mount up and catch up with the professor.
All right, as you guys ride, this old feller says, "Be careful, beware. Nothing but trouble can come from that place."
Thanks.
Thanks, mister.
Guess I reckon that's why we're checking it out.
There's nothing but bad news. Well, I guess pack it up, boys. We're just gonna.
This would be a real boring campaign if every time somebody was like, "Don't go in there." we
It's
didn't go in
dangerous, and
there.
you were like, "Oh, thank you for the
Like,
warning." Back to town.
If we went into Pahawara and that guy was like, "You need to get the fuck out of here," then we just left. Erickson would have been like, "Well, shit."
Backspace all the notes. Where you going next? I guess.
I guess we're going back to Toad.
If Mohan didn't stick his head down a ghoul hole, where would we be now?
We know what's inside that ghoul hole.
And now we-
That's what's inside.
And now we know what was inside the necklace that was inside the ghoul hole.
Erickson handed us a wine
And a lot
bottle
of
of plot.
thick-
We just beholden
And you
upon us
chugged
check
it,
out.
as all players should do.
You want some tasty plot here on this hook?
Excellent vintage.
Nice vintage. Fantastic year.
Has an aftertaste.
Of death.
TPK? That's TPK.
Listen,
TV
all I'm saying
team
is,
player.
No,
It can't
you're
be a
almost
solo
right.
TPK.
That aftertaste is actually only one player character surviving.
Oh,
They're
much worse.
they're really adjacent flavors.
Imagine
All right.
dying that Monday.
pedestrian even.
There's a bunch of us here that are
Only one of you survives, and it's not who you think.
It rhymes.
One of you survived in an order that might surprise you. You guys ride on, and kind of clearing through this section of wood, you can see what's clearly a fairly run-down looking fort. You can tell that it's seen some battle, not recently at all. And judging by its location, it makes sense why somebody was able to buy this, because where it's at, it is in quite possibly the least strategic position. Like, there's nothing that it's far enough away from anything of value. It's not on any kind of major thoroughfare. Like, if an army wanted to march on, they could march on very easily going around this. It's not a very opportune fort placement, and it seems like maybe there's been battles fought here before, but it was abandoned, and the only niceness seems to be like inside the fort. You can see that there's a wooden building that's been spruced up, probably from what it was originally.
How
It's the Fort Builders Union. They all get together and build the forts and get paid. It's just a money laundering.
That's not a money line.
how like defensible, I guess.
It seems fairly. I mean, its location is kind of in a clearing surrounded by tree line, but it's a decent sized clearing. So if somebody were to like charge the fort, you'd see them for a while.
So dumb.
You know what I think
Lancelot,
of?
yeah.
You know
Lancelot charging the gates.
And you do also notice that like the field itself out in front of it is fairly filled. It's probably easier to sneak them now because there's a good deal of
shrubbery.
grapevines.
Oh,
So growing along like lattices and stuff inside the field.
which is pretty rad.
It does sound really cool.
Like
yeah.
that's a
except
winery I'd go.
Except
It's a
if
very
there
nice-
were any bloody battles fought here, they literally planted grapevines over the top of graves, which is probably why.
Curse the shit.
Yeah, probably why Scratch likes their wine so much. That would explain the answer.
So that means Grimes is cursed.
The souls of soldiers have died fruitlessly.
It's a very devilish,
is- yeah.
flavor.
The spoils of war, you might
versus
say.
Meaningless death? Is that TPK?
That'll be the next batch of wine. Watch what happens next. We ride up to the gate.
I died.
Riding up, you can see a couple people out, seemingly tending to the vines.
Right.
They appear to be your generic run-of-the-mill worker. And they kind of they see you as you ride up, but they're not like they like acknowledge you. They don't say anything, and they're not like, "Hi, don't go."
They
that
don't
way."
hold. They don't hold like grape pruning implements in a threatening fashion as we drive by.
One of them just like turns and looks at you holding a single grape. I'll make an eye contact.
That would be such a great way to off-put a legitimately. That is such a great way to off-put a party riding into like a grapevine. Like one of the workers just gives you the evil eye and squishes a grape. It's like I don't like this place.
Okay, that happens. The other workers seem fine though. Old Reggie just not quite the same since his wife left.
He might be a bit of a sour grape.
That's correct.
Yeah, booze mean nothing to me. I know it makes you cheer.
He's raising a pretty good point. No one can hate us like we hate us. You ride up to the fort. There likely was a closed off. Like there is a gate, but it's open. You can ride into the fort itself.
But as we enter, it closes, and you hear opera music.
There's just a guy on a massive organ inside there playing as you enter. No, you enter in, no dramatic music, and the gates remains open as you enter into the place. You can see that there's this kind of like larger, pretty nice wooden. It looks like what was probably a more functional wooden building that's been added onto and renovated, and there's kind of a shop front built up to the front of it that says Fort Green Cellars on a sign.
Well,
Scratch's horse ain't picking it out front or something.
Is what now? Oh no, there's no Scratch's horse
is
is not visible here.
um,
However, riding up to this and riding through here, there is one horse that needs to be acknowledged, and that is Spanky is a little jittery.
Aw,
he's got the heebie-jeebies.
I'm gonna need you to make whatever the equivalent of animal handling is.
There's riding, isn't there?
Riding. Yeah.
Make me a riding check.
Which you don't have any points in.
Look,
But
Spanky's always got a bad feeling. We should still respect it when it comes up.
Yeah, especially in this instance.
Hey,
Explodes.
4 explodes. There's a chance. It's a 1. So it's a 3. It's a 3 total.
He will begrudgingly go through the gates, but he is like physically shaking underneath you and like
Spanky,
very
it's
uncomfortable.
okay. It's okay.
I think I need to get the shocks checked.
I'm gonna just pet Spanky and be like, I got some nice crackers for you. It's okay, Spanky.
Didn't we make a joke about a vibrating horse in the last recording?
A vibro horse.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I really feel like there was a violently shaking horse joke in the last one as well. Well,
I don't know.
look,
I don't know if you
Spanky's
guys.
got a nose for trouble. I mean, we all know that this place is bad news, but Spanky's got a nose for trouble. So, I mean, I don't really know.
I know we're supposed to be here, damn it. We gotta take care of this.
This is just one of them things.
But
I mean, we can always. I don't know. Part of me is just like, are we just straight up with them? Be like, hey, we heard you have a ghost problem. We kind of handle that sort of thing. Should we take a look? Or do you want to be
I thought you meant be straight up with them, like, hey, the devil gave us a bad.
Yeah,
That's maybe a little bit too
And we were
straight up.
like, you know what?
That's a little too straight up.
Something's fishy here.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. Honestly.
But the thing is, like, we don't necessarily. I don't know if this is a legitimate winery that on an unfortunate, I told them not to build that winery on the ancient burial ground. Or if it's like, or if the
Cheap
people,
real estate.
or if the people running the winery are evil. Because we've kind of run into both ends of the spectrum.
Let's
so.
go talk to them, and if any of them have a twirly mustache, we know we're on to them.
You see the owner. He has the twirliest of mustaches.
I shoot him immediately.
Waluigi.
Burn the place to the ground.
There he is.
Truly, these were the villains.
You heed your last whack.
we see Carl Weezer.
All right, you guys enter in.
Erickson, round us up.
You enter into the Fort Green Cellars storefront, and there is no twirly mustache on the person behind the counter. It is, in fact, a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
So that
Look,
means
we
even more
haven't
trouble.
had great luck with beautiful
I love
women.
the.
We haven't had great luck with beautiful women either.
Well,
Suit yourself on that one.
I mean, you did get bashed
She
with a meat
broke
hammer.
my arm and hit you and gave you a concussion.
It took you like.
But I got to see like a little bit of her boobs.
You got to see total boobs. She was totally naked
Yeah,
by the
so
time
did
she
you.
brained.
Yeah, and she was totally naked when she broke my arm. And that is not as hot as it sounds.
Oh.
Not as kinky as you would think.
Alright, I guess
And
we'll-
she'll kind of like smile as you enter in and be like, "Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Welcome to Fort Green Cellars. What are you looking for? What kind of wine can we get for you?"
Well, we did like this one.
Oh, you're a returning customer.
A friend
The
of mine
Last
gave it
Stand
to us.
is one of our best sellers.
Yeah, we're not customers. A mutual friend gave us that bottle.
Okay, very well. So you're not here to buy wine? What you here
I think
for?
Grimes will buy a bottle of wine anyway, but
Are you wanting the same as that?
Yeah.
It's one of our nicest bottles. I can't imagine they want anything else. And she kind of goes back to a little section, brings out another bottle of Last Stand Albarino, and she's like, "It'll be $10." She
Alrighty.
sets it on the bar.
Christ.
this is where I like see if Erickson has a whole wine list prepared for this wine. I'm like, oh, I'd love to see what you have. As you see the panic in his eyes.
Do you have any reds for our
Chardonnay, maybe.
a rosé? Have any
Rosé.
very red reds?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wine. I'm gonna take that
Okay, are you trying to flirt with her?
a little bit. I'm gonna touch
Whoa.
my hand.
Getting their hands meet.
Okay.
Persuasion, so it's a D4.
It's cold.
It's pointy and long.
See, I'm very handsome.
So you get a +4.
Oh.
This what you thought was a beautiful woman is
7.
7. When your hands touch as they exchange, she does kind of blush a little bit. But thank you for your business. Excellent taste.
How long you all been, fellow down in town told us there's an old war fort. How long you been, established up here?
Well, the doctor purchased the place about 2 years ago.
Oh, a doctor.
Yes. A genius of a man. He hails from across the sea, though. It's a...
Dr. Frankenstein?
His name is Dr. Yervin Bjorklund.
Irving York.
I'm Irving Gerklin. But wait, if
You knew it was coming.
He come. Oh yes, of the Bjorklunds. He comes from the land of Bjorks.
You know.
That's what we call the Swedes out here in the West.
No, I was just about to say, that's the noise Swedish dogs make.
Congratulations, you've offended a whole country.
Look me in the eye, Sweden, and tell me your dogs don't say Bjork.
The immediate image of like a sheepdog going Bjork. Just
It's not like dog sending. It's just Bjork.
yeah.
Bjork. It's not like a Bjork. It's like, it is Bjork. Bjork.
Son of a shepherd.
Okay. You brought the cupcakes of forgiveness? So, she says, Dr. Yervin Bjorklund purchased the place about 2 years ago and took him all 6 months or so, I think, to get the place fully up and running. But it's been quite profitable ever since.
Did he happen to mention what he was a doctor of?
You know, he didn't exactly. He seems a learned fella. I don't know if it was medicine or elseways, but certainly very bright.
We've just been running into a lot of professors lately, so.
Is the good doctor by chance in by now?
But he's here, yes.
May we have a conversation with him?
Well, he keeps to himself, very busy with his work.
Would he be? How about would he be willing to chat with another doctor? I myself am a
doctor in science.
Give me a persuade.
Does it get minuses to persuasion because of that?
Because of your
I do. I
IQ.
get a -2 to my rolls, but it's a -4 because I don't have
This is
persuasion.
what you get for calling me not the prettiest boy.
Ooh, 4 and 6 explode. There's a chance.
It was destined to be.
So,
The dice want a showdown
So that's
between
a
meds.
4.
Another showdown between med scientists.
Or actually, no, that's a 3. And that's a 4.
Four, okay. She's like, oh, you're a doctor yourself.
Yes, I am.
You seem the type. Let me get
Remember,
Dr. Bjork.
she's probably basing that off of this Dr. Bjorklund. So
And she'll leave for a little bit, and coming down with her from up the set of stairs, you will see Dr. Bjorklund. Dr. Bjorklund is currently in kind of like a nice dress shirt and pants. He has, describe him, he's a somewhat rotund fellow with like crimson red hair that's into kind of a like long pointy beard down at the front and kind of long and swept back in the back, and you can see a big streak of gray that kind of goes down the side of it. And he'll be like, hello there, which of you's the doctor?
That would be me.
Ah, a doctor! What a doctor of?
I'm a doctor of science.
Which science?
Good question.
Good question.
A weird.
and quietly mutters
I
mad.
specialize in gadgets and technology.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
I happen to be a doctor of similar things.
Oh, really? I'm really not trying to do the accent.
Are you mocking me?
Me with your twitchy eyes.
You seem to be mocking me.
Are you one of those
Are you
Irish
mocking
I'm so sorry. That was an honest mistake. We've been traveling for many days now, so
Fair enough.
you got yourself a nice vineyard here. You know, did you do everything here yourself?
Oh, it takes lots of work to do this.
Yeah.
Lots of other people's hands. Now I'm going more and more Irish. Lots of people's hands.
You're going Irish, and I can't
You
tell where you're
can't quite
from.
pin where this guy's from.
just do like 4 yas.
It's like Vladimir. To get your Irish. Yeah. Oh, lots of hands.
So, the technology you have been using, is that something you use here within your vineyard, or is that more of a private project?
A bit of both.
Bit of both. Yeah, did it again. Bit of both. I'm sorry.
Now you're breaking in front of me. How does it feel, Jerry?
I'm still laughing at this ongoing Bjork myself.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd be interested in seeing your technology. I'd be more than willing to share some of my notes and the gadgets that I've built.
Give me another persuasion.
Oh shit, this ain't gonna be up.
He can't get lucky twice.
Yeah. No way.
You have bennies.
Yeah, but I'm not about to spend it because I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, 4 and 6 exploding.
He can't get lucky twice, you'll say.
So that's a 2. And that is a 7.
With the minuses?
Yeah, with the minus.
Oh, you rolled a 6 and a 5.
6 and a 5, nice. He will be like, yeah. Come on up.
Good man of science. I appreciate that. You two, the rest of you, keep a lookout for something. I'm just gonna walk up to them.
Okay. The two of them go up the stairs. What are the 4 of you doing?
You had a kind of tall, thin, kind of shadowy, real smoke-looking fella in here. He's the one who gave us a bottle of wine. Said he's a fan of yours. I guess you guys probably get a lot of.
Back to something. Okay.
Guess you guys probably get a lot of visitors and probably don't remember all of them. But.
It's pretty hard for me. Sorry, it sticks. It sticks.
It's 3 haters.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. All right.
You're gonna turn into the Terminator in Terminator 2, where he's like turns into all of the things.
Well, we have all sorts of type come and go here. Usually, a more refined sort drink our particular wines. I don't know why it was hard for me to come with. I was trying to think of a fancy word than that. I'm kind of new at this job. I mean, don't know about smug, but there's plenty of well-dressed types that come through. Tend to be gentlemen. What shops here?
Mostly out east.
She says, giving a little eye to. Right?
Mostly out east or out
No, he's no
west.
gentleman.
Well, you know, we're close enough to the border. I can hear that. We're close enough to the border. We get some Yanks coming just for the wine, and we don't discriminate on who we sell to. Though I'm sure some of the people of Boone would prefer we did.
Yeah, you have quite the reputation from over there.
They are all a bunch of backwards, crazy old yokels.
Well, the one we met, I can't really disagree with you.
Aggressively sipped his iced tea.
He was talking about something about this place being haunted.
Well, I mean, I could understand somebody that a pretty large battle was fought here. A lot of people lost their lives. I've never seen ghosts or anything like that, but there's all sorts of stories about the old farm.
Yeah, you've never seen anything strange here?
I mean, she's gonna glance back at the stairs, is like, the doctor's a strange man, and I see him plenty, but
Yeah, we got one of our own.
I can tell. But I gotta say, nothing really jumped out at me. I mean, like I said, doctor keeps to himself. At this point, he just more or less funds the place, keeps the business side of things going, and it's business as usual.
No mysterious noises, no missing peoples?
No. Back upstairs, as you enter into what's clearly
The
like.
brick. You remember the brick from way back in the day? The
Well,
sheriff
there's another third brick that's here, and this is the Professor Braining brick. And you enter in, and this guy's like, "Yeah. Welcome to my laboratory. What do you think?" And you look out over a very nice, well-kept lab that seems to have all sorts of gadget bits and gizmos all over around here. It looks pretty similar to some of the kind of stuff you would use yourself.
Alright,
There is one iron door locked that seems to be sealed shut as well.
behind which is Bjorken's monster. It's not Frankenstein's monster. It's
I'm going to kind of take a mental note of the iron door, and I'm just gonna look around at his, at some of his other gadgets, kind of examine what he's got.
It looks like a lot of this is farming equipment or like very efficient and interesting ways to farm. Go ahead and give me a weird science roll.
That's a 5.
A 5. Looking around, there's some components and stuff you can see that are very reminiscent of what you use to make your like bolt gadget. They seem a little different, but a similar mindset. And you notice like a weird amount of wire, like lots of like coiled up, like coils of wiring that are like stacked in corners of the room.
Doctor, if you don't mind my asking, what's all this wiring for? It seems a bit much for your farming equipment, for these farming tools you're working on.
Well, I don't only do farming.
Well, I guess a jack of all trades, you know, when you're dealing with technology and whatnot.
I have a bit of fascination with electricity.
Oh, electricity. Would you care to kind of go deeper into
Give me
this?
another weird science roll.
Another weird science.
This man's about to electrocute you.
I know about
Your weird science roll notices that he's hooking jumper cables up to
another
nipples.
5.
Is it a 5?
Yeah.
He's gonna lean in uncomfortably close, looking at you with a slight eye twitch of his own, meeting yours. And he's yeah. He's going to say, "Can I trust you?"
Yeah, sure. Scientist to scientist, you know, we have to trust each other. We can't trust. Let's be honest. We can't trust the people we hang around with.
Necessary for brute tasks. But we are men.
Yes. And a men of the mind. Yes.
I think I may be God.
He is Frankenstein!
That would
That's the episode title.
that's absolutely
The last one I saw was "Believe in the Devil." Now it's "I think I might be God."
that would 1 to 100 real
He says,
quick.
"I have created life from what was once dead."
You've created life from a corpse. That essentially is what you're telling me.
Yes.
What? Okay. How successful was it? Did it survive?
Well, yeah, but it's a bit complicated.
Just kind of care to go deeper?
My proof of concept is behind that door.
I don't want to fight this guy. I'm enjoying this too much.
I don't want to fight him either. I don't think he's evil. I think he just kind of
The
fucked
son of a
up.
shepherd.
Son of a shepherd. So this big iron door here. Your proof is behind it.
Yes.
What? Trying to think of how I can word it. Pretty much just like, can I see it? I'll show you yours if you show you. I'll show you mine if I show you yours. I'll show you yours.
Are you guys getting into a gadget measuring contest?
Pretty much, yeah.
He'll say, "Yeah, I'll let you see him.
Okay.
No sudden movements.
Okay. I'll be right here.
He trusts me, but he's a bit
wary around new folks.
Of course.
Makes sense.
And not a word of this to anyone else. Men of science."
Man of science.
And he'll walk over and he'll slide a big lock bar out of the way and open it. And inside, you can see a couple of things inside of this room. You can see another door that seems to also be made of iron that's kind of set across from this. That seems to go deeper in somewhere else. And then you can see kind of living chambers for what it seems like it's like a couple beds drugged together and stuff like that. And you can see a piecemeal, stitched together giant zombie man with an iron bolt.
Pretty much a Frankenstein.
A Frankenstein's monster. He's not like green with the square head, but it seems like this is very much a This is a Bjorklund's monster.
Fun fact about
And he seems, and you can see
was
this
not ugly.
this kind
In the
of
monster.
lumbering creature, kind of like
He was inhumanly beautiful,
kind of
Gorgeous.
stomp and
Gorgeous.
turn and look towards you,
which is what freaked people out.
confused.
Well,
You're such a nerd.
it's okay. Would it be alright if I took like a step forward here?
One moment. It's alright, Papa's here! And he walks forward, and he's gonna come up and he's gonna pat either arm of this thing, and it's gonna just kind of like sit there very, very stone and not really react much.
Like no emotion.
No
like,
emotion to it at all. And he's like, "Yes, I think it's safe for you to approach."
I'm just gonna take like I'm being very cautious, but I will take
Okay.
steps towards
Take a
it.
couple steps towards him. Kind of just towards.
This is fascinating. How the hell did you achieve this?
Now, I can't give away all my secrets.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I electrocuted the shit out of him.
Says, lots and lots of work and practice, and I have come up with the ability to create life.
Now, I'm assuming. I mean, you can only do so much with the muscles once they've gone out, but boy here doesn't appear to be able to express emotions. How high thinking is he?
Well, he seems to understand enough to know his papa and know that I mean him no harm, and he does what I tell him to do.
I'm just gonna be like amazed and baffled, like just amazed at this. So you build the winery, because I'm just trying to understand this. You build a winery and you fund it, but you're staying here as the fort, as your grounds for your science operations. Science.
One helps the other.
And you know, I don't mean to be rude. This just some of the things that I have seen have just forced me to start asking these kinds of questions. What are your intentions with your creature here?
Well, as I told you, I have. Let's get that tightened down before I say anything. I have found a way to create life. What does a god do? He creates. That is my intent.
Fair enough.
It is such a beautiful life, no?
It very is, and it's very impressive that you have been able to do such a thing. I'm baffled at it. We can go ahead and close the door on this now.
Papa will be back.
But can you do calculus? That's what I was
Yeah, can I teach him calculus? That's the question.
No.
So, if you don't mind my asking, do you still have your notes for how this was achieved?
As I said, I cannot give you all my secrets. You will have to come up with your own ways to do such things. It is in the pursuit we learn, and in this that we find our purpose.
Fair enough. I think at this point I'll just kind of chat with him a little more, show him like one of the gadgets I made, and
Give me a notice.
a notice.
He's going to build
Pedestrian.
he's going to build a winery with autonomous workers and autonomous grape stompers.
That's a 4.
A 4.
Take over the world.
It's just on the. This guy. Making small talk with him. What you notice him saying a lot is just like how beautiful and pure the life he's made is.
Yeah.
He seems like he weirdly interjects that in conversation and stuff like that. That really stands out. Something that he seems to really think the life he's creating is like a very good life for these creations.
Probably one last thing before I leave. Is the plan eventually to allow them to work in your vineyard, like almost like your farming equipment here?
Well, I do not know if the world is quite ready to see such things.
Fair enough.
But maybe one day. Hopefully one day, many will be all over and working all sorts of places to have the labor that we need without such horrific things as forcing living
Yes.
people to do it.
Fair enough.
Yes, that's good.
Well, I
Very
say, as a man of science, I can appreciate your creation. I can only give you a warning from a scientist to scientist. Be careful, because as you know, anything can happen, and if something were to happen here, you have a lot of good folks down there who look for you for help.
You are right. You are very right. And he kind of like looks out a window and his eyes go kind of wide. He's like, anything is possible.
I think we got a real.
And then he kind of snaps back too and is like, what sort of gadgets do you have? What have you come up with?
I'm trying to think of like which one I can. I'll show him the bolt
Okay.
gadget first because that's the one I use the most. I just pull out this again pistol-looking thing with some coils on top and a little bit of wiring, and it's like this here is my bolt gadget. Fires high powerful rounds without ever needing bullets.
Very interesting. And he kind of okay, so then you guys can kind of talk shop with their stuff a little bit, and if there's nothing else you're worried about, kind of
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab the youngin and the little lady.
I just didn't expect he was coming back down the stairs. I kind of expected we'd be rushing up the stairs.
And walking down the stairs, the two of them kind of going down, and he'll kind of like pat you on the shoulder as you're walking down and be like, "It was very nice to meet you. Very nice to find a like mind."
Yeah, nice to meet you too. And yeah, it's always hard to find people of our stature here.
Of course, of course. And just like you said, anything is possible
Anything is possible.
until we meet again. And then he's going to turn and start heading up the stairs as you head down them. And with that, I think that's where we're going to stop this episode of Devils of the West. I think that timing-wise that'll work well, and that'll be a good little, what the heck's going on here? I guess you kind of know what's going on here, but what are you going to do about it? And with that, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next episode.